Hi guys, we're back to trying this again for Jade Cocoon speedrun for the 80%. Basically, since we had technical difficulties with the stream, I've gone back and I've reviewed what technology I was using, seeing things that was clashing, and I believe that my controller software is what was causing our emulator to crash like that. So I've switched to a PS3 controller and now I'm using SEP server instead of DS4 Windows for the PS4 controllers. So hopefully we should now actually be able to get some runs which don't crash. I'm also doing this offline just in case. And hopefully we should be able to get some decent runs now. I just wanted to get something out there, which is why I'm doing this, but I will still be doing streams on Thursday this week to continue doing this live. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started again, and hopefully we should be able to get some good runs now. Alright, starting the first run in 3, 2, 1. Now I have a much more easy start button to press on the plus side. That's one thing to say about using a PS3 controller instead of a PS4 one. I believe I remembered to update the settings, so I'll be able to skip through this as usual. Alright, let's go get sent to bed and go to nightmare number 1.
Rick Hess has run away, has he? He's run off, you know. It's all hearsay. It seems as if he was stolen by a naughty woman, and he ran off. His son is still so young. Too young to become a Cocoon master. Run away, will you?
It's a long sequence, isn't it? We'll continue to do what we were doing before with regards to holding the analog stick down preemptively, just so you can start running instantly. Hopefully the practice of wrong whoops is going to pay off. And the Dragonfly Forest is not going to be the bane of our existence this time, hopefully. Specifically the Netherworld one. I don't have enough practice at that specific wrong warp. Alright, let's fight Dream Man and get absolutely destroyed. I still think minions should occur later on in the game as the game's only water boss. You know, give Chosen One 2 minions, give him minion and then Kashidra. I think that would be a more a more circular story, I suppose is what I mean. And like, it would be a nice callback, I think. Like, you think minions are the final boss, but then no, it's Kashidra. It'd also make his Dark Arbitron name a bit more apt in the internal code of the game. Instead of just, you know, minion. Though they would have to increase his level from 10. Otherwise you just die instantly. Good for the speed run that he's not there, but I'm actually kind of curious what Earth minion you'd want to capture if minion was there as a boss. I suppose you might just capture it to fade. And then have Mardrake to fade and after him. That'd probably be the more consistent thing to do. But the EXP route would have to be fairly significantly modified, I think. So I think Gyrals, and I think there's a water carmine in the dark. Spider Netherworld. Like, killing one of them would probably be enough, but you wouldn't be able to get 3 minions to level 21 because you're only going to get 2 sets of EXP off the Earth boss. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe you'd kill one of the Earth boss ghosts. That might be what you do. Since you can find one pretty close to where you want to wrong warp anyway, you probably run through there, kill one, get that EXP onto your Earth to fade. Go back, go in, and then do the usual route. Because it wouldn't matter if the Tefade survived the fight, since you only need Arpatron and Mardrake to kill Kashidra. I think that's probably what you'd want to do. I presume you'd probably catch it in the Dragonfly Forest. Capture the first one, go back, switch the elements, capture the other. You might need more luck though, so that you have enough healing items to still beat Kikinak. But I think that would work. It would be much less reliable of a run, but I think it would work. Just because of the trying to capture an extra minion. It's not much point to me theory crafting, given that that's obviously not what happens, but it's a nice thought experiment. Alright, congrats to us. We've been married. I just need to continue mashing X for a long time now. Oh, that's a bit slow. There we go. I can see why this game is primarily run on NTSC for the faster load times and whatnot, because this intro section takes such a long time. I don't mind it once the game proper starts. I don't really notice the time differential for events in terms of loading times and whatnot. It obviously is there.
According to tradition, I hereby proclaim your coming of age. You are bright from this day forward. Treacherous girl.
Dream Man going to creep us out further. Imagine having these dreams constantly. I mean, I know that we don't know if Levant's been having these dreams forever, but imagine if he was. Just every night, get murdered by a minion. don't know what's worse, the taunting or the murder. Because I think you'd get used to being killed by a minion in your sleep. You just see me and you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna die. But the taunting changes. I think that would be more stressful. This one's just a little mean. We're given hope for having a Patimo sent out against us first. Like, oh, maybe we have to live in dream. I was like, nah. You can't have a pleasant outcome to the stream where you actually prove yourself. We're gonna have to put a stop to that. It's very common, I mean, in JRPGs for you to have these fights you can't win at the start, but it's kind of interesting that there's two of them at the start of this game, and it's the same fight. Just mashing X to get through this still. We're gonna have to start mashing start once we're done with this final text box. There we go, start mashing start instead. There we go. And now we need to wait for Garai to be done giving us supplies. Always crying out in our sleep. Presumably it's not that frequent. And that's why our mother points out that we cried out in our sleep every time. That's what every single night, or every morning rather, she points it out. Alright, cool. I still need to get these specific menus down pat on like where the watchtower is and where the town shop is. Because you're only doing it once, I don't really remember where it is all the time. The rest of the time you're just scrolling to the bottom, or going to Garai's home one time. Oh, there you go. One too many attempts to talk to Louis. I'm trying to remember all of the water bosses in the Eternal Corridor now. I think it's the most common element, actually, in the Eternal Corridor for bosses. I think there's 3 of them. There's only, obviously, 4 elements. There's 9 stages in the corridor, with a different mini-boss at the end of each of them. And I think 3 of them are water. And there's only 1 earth one, I think. But I don't really remember. It's been too long. I couldn't name all of the bosses there. I just remember there's the Tortoise, the Hakaru, and the Amasag water bosses in the Eternal Corridor. But I think it's still fair enough to say there aren't water bosses in the game, because that's post-game stuff. But I do wonder why that ended up being the case, to not have, like, not even the poachers' minions of water. They reflect the Disciples of Darkness's different elements. In the same order as well, fire, air, earth. Right. Uptron at 1420-ish? Maybe a bit before that. So that's pretty good. Nap timer is so far forward. Okay, just... I have no idea if that was dodgeable when it moves that far forward. I don't like our odds of dodging this one either. No, in fact, we don't have it. Oh. I hope that didn't count as a side attack, because we started running in a different direction once we changed screens. It's one of the weird things with the analog stick is it's so easy to start running the wrong way, because you turn so quickly. Alright, let's see if we can get this wrong warp. Oh. So, 2 attempts, at least. I'm just trying to keep track of how many I do so I can get the right element in the next forest. God, what is up with this? I need to focus. A head started going off. I think that's enough. It is, yeah. I think that was 4 attempts. So in the next forest, it should already be a Mardrag. I'm not the best at remembering the element switches. I tend to forget it there. We can not figure out stories. No, I would not like to hear it. Right, to the town shop. Sell our Valerian powder. I'd like to buy 3 of these and 1 of these. If we're lucky, we won't need to use all those items. And we'll use those if we need for safety strats, basically, hopefully. Well, not necessarily as backup. Is what I mean. Yeah, hopefully, if I counted right, it should already be a Mardrag, but I may be wrong. I always accept that I may be wrong on the elements. It doesn't take too much time to correct it if I am wrong, but it's nice if I'm right. Yeah, there we go. I am right. Let's hope Mardrag behaves for us here. We are going to have to use 1 Meta Mugwort no matter what, because we aren't attempting to capture immediately. I think the luck required for that is a bit too insane to be going when we haven't got a run on the leaderboard yet. That's the kind of thing you go for when you've ran out of other obvious improvements on your run. When you do everything right and quickly, and all your wrong warps are... well, that's very sad. And your wrong warps are all fairly optimal. That's when you might want to start trying to capture Mardrag early, because it's a large time save. use the Meta Mugwort here, because it doesn't quite fully heal us. It recovers 75. That's how much you get back for the Meta Mugwort. We are going to hit it again because 14 is a bit high to be trying to capture the Mardreg. 7's quite a bit more reasonable. We can't hit it again because it will die. We are going to take a bit of extra damage because we let it take an additional action, but I'd rather have better odds capturing the Mardreg because we still might sorry, that sounded weird. We still might fail just because it's level 3 and we're capture level 1. There you go, we failed anyway. Mardreg does not want to behave. We'll get another attempt or two. But the run can just die here. If Mardreg refuses to cooperate, the run is just over. We only have so many recovery items. Okay, thank you, Mardreg. Hopefully we can still get back to full health. We can. I should have maybe used my regular Mugworts. We only need one Meta Mugwort for Kikinak, provided. Okay. There we go. Nice dodge. Provided Kikinak doesn't crit us and end the run, because that's also something Kikinak can do. We only need one Meta Mugwort there, so it's not too bad that we're holding on to the regular Mugworts still. We'll be able to use those at a later point. We shouldn't need any more recovery items after Kikinak until when we can buy more. Let's equip that silver crown immediately. Oh, pressed X one too many times. Oh, sorry, too many times. Yeah, we shouldn't be using any healing items in combat on Levant anymore. Is that turtle going to have shifted enough? No. Have to rely a little bit on RNG to make sure Levant's moved enough. Nice, okay, we get that. And now we need to try this Dragonfly Wrong Warp. This will probably take me a few tries. That looks decent, I think. Nice. That one can either take me no time at all or takes me forever. Now we need to make sure we get these sleep spores. Alright, Kikinak fight. Excluding that Shablikyo may make it a little slightly easier to menu for this fight. Now I need to press down one fewer time each time I go into the menu. Alright, double attack, please no crit, Kikinak. That's all I ask of you, is to not crit us. The amount of times I've had Kikinak crit me here, when I'm doing a more like a casual run. But I say casual, I still like to use the speedrun strat. But the amount of times I've had Kikinak crit me, and I've just gone, okay, I guess that's 20 minutes or something lost, because I now need to level the minions I've captured in order to kill Kikinak. So that you can still do the Asher/Shilia strat at a later point in the run. For a second there I thought he was still alive. I was like, oh my god, is this not 100%? Scared myself. Great Wall Up? Okay, cool. 66% chance of that being dropped. Ooh. Went out a bit fast there. Keep messing up on these chat options. It's only a couple of seconds time loss each time, but it's a bit annoying that I keep doing it. There we go. Now we have to tell Garai about the Calabash powder. I'm glad that he blocks us from leaving if we misclick there. We have to get the key then. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So I mean, keep messing up on these chat menus. Alright, Spider Forest. We just want an alright run here. We don't need to be amazing because we just want to get something on the leaderboard. Something done in a fairly reasonable time. Not amazing, just a reasonable time is good enough. And then hopefully we'll be able to, if this is solved, our emulator problems, we'll be able to go back to live streaming attempts. Missed it. It's tricky to get that one instantly. I think that was it. It was, yeah. I don't trust myself. It's a bit weird doing this with Analog 6, it's a little bit trickier. Apparently it's harder on the PAL version anyway, but... Come on. I know which spot I want to press, like what I want the Vant to look like when I'm pressing circle. I think that's it. It's alright if we're wrong in the Spider Forest because it's so close. It's not a significant time loss. But getting that, being able to do that first try is very useful since we'll need to do it later anyway and we won't have the ease of being able to do it right away. We have to go back through the dark Dragonfly Forest then, and that is not fun. That is not desirable. That's a major time loss if that happens. So being good at that wrong warp in particular is very relevant. In fact, I would say being good at the Dark Dragonfly wrong warp and the Spider Forest wrong warp are the two most important ones. Regular Dragonfly is also pretty important, but it's slightly more time lost and slightly more dangerous if you miss it on Dark Dragonfly because you have to repeat some fights every time in Dark Dragonfly if you miss it. And yeah, and in Beetle you don't actually need to do it. You can get all the way to the end really without many fights. There will still be a couple, but it's fairly easy. And in Dark Beetle sometimes it's not even that significant of a time save. It depends on, because you're only skipping which side of a room you're entering in the Dark Beetle Forest with the wrong warp. And it's possible that there are two mantis enemies, so a squimble or a patamanti, and they can just be walked past anyway. In which case you're not saving any encounters. But that's if you're lucky and they're there. There could be a hackaroo in that room, which you can't dodge. In which case, yeah, it's pretty worth it then. I'm gonna have to equip the Roquette's Garb immediately, I think, because I don't want to forget to equip the Roquette's Garb. That'll mess up our Shilia fight. Speaking of which, those Mojas were the right element. Those snakes, they were red, which means that it should be a Shilia, which is what we want in the Moth Forest at the start. Paying attention to the elements of minions earlier on to predict future minions' elements is a kind of recurring as a thing in this game. I don't need to go so high up to equip the Mardrake. That's just me over pressing the up arrow key. One extra time. You can have like a gap between the two minions and it's fine still. Alright, there we go. And now we're at the Mother Gorai sacrifice scene, and everyone's gonna get turned to stone. She's kind of a badass, to be honest. Jabara there is we don't like Jabara. She caused us to trap the forest in the first place, and make it all go red and kill it, basically. And now she's trying to sacrifice Mother Gorai, who's done nothing but try to protect the village up to this point. I mean, she is turning everyone to stone now by binding their souls to us, but yeah, imagine trying to protect everyone, and then the local priestess just tries to human sacrifice you. Unbelievable. Jabara's like the one character I don't feel bad for. With the whole turning to stone thing. I think even in the end credit scene, she's like one of the few characters we don't see restored. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Ran the wrong way. But yeah, even the developers knew we wouldn't feel sympathy for Jabara. Excuse me. Getting caught on Kelmar there. How many times am I gonna like miss menu or something like that in this run? So much time saved from just being a bit more precise. I think I pressed X so quickly there I didn't even see the item get picked up. Yes. So on our last run, we defeated the poacher and then my emulator crashed. Which sucks for us. And the time before that, which was worth noting, was the time when it crashed just as we were going into the dark spider forest. Via wrong warp. So close to the end. So close to the end. I mean, we died to a Turgor in the Dark Spider Forest already at that point, because Turgor decided that that run wasn't... we didn't deserve to win that run, according to that Turgor. So we actually got really close, and then we got destroyed by the emulator crashing, and we lost the run. I'm going to equip Ricketts's Garb in advance. We need that magic attack buff. 40 is actually very high for magic attack, by the way. I mean, obviously we're not going to get any more armor for the rest of the game now, so it makes sense that the stats are so high, but 40 really is very high. I mean, not if you have a mage minion. Like, if I caught a Shilia and I was using that, then maybe it wouldn't be so high, but for that minion in particular. There you go, that's a Shilia. And we've been healed by speaking to Mabu. I have to remind myself that that happens. We are going to pick up both optional skeleton keys. That's just because I don't want to not have the money I need for the Devil's Mirrors, the Devil's Mirrors, the Sleep Spores, the Liqueurs, and then obviously Little Bird and Sparrow's Ruff, and some Mugwort with whatever we have left over. There's a lot of things to buy, and like, it's easy to forget. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough. Alright, let's get Mardrag in there. He may take one hit. Because the Shiller is at 9. I think we should be fine still, but we may get... Okay, should have got an extra turn anyway. Oh, critical hit, okay, well. I think it would have killed anyway. But I'm not going to complain that the critical hit chills it. Yeah, he fully heals anyway. We will use a Shab Liquor on him. And that's going to be for... Right, let's just use Sleep Spores we've picked up. And that's just so we can get an extra elemental attack on the Poacher. In every run I've had so far, either Gigoat or the Poacher has blocked an attack that we've done. So, we've had to account for that with our attacks with Mardrag to make sure that Arbitron gets the killing hit. We've had to actually switch to Levant heal Mardrag every time as a consequence. I do need to remember to use that liquor, but I want to pick up the skeleton key first so that doesn't slip my mind. Alright, now we'll use the... I probably should have done this when we used the Sleep Spores. That would have been the fast thing to do. Actually, I will also use Mugwort. I may end up with a bit of extra money on account of the fact that I'm going to hold on to that Great Walnut. I could have used that to fully heal there and actually increase my max health a little bit, but it's worth 375 money to sell. Change directions again. So we need Arbitron to kill the Poacher and Mardrag to kill Gigoat. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Hopefully. Hopefully. In the event that Mardrag gets the killing blow, or Levant does on the Poacher, there are backup strats. Which we'll be forced to do involving a Scamante or something like that in the dark Beetle Forest. But it'll be significantly harder to get that kill. Is this a good Mardrag or a bad one? It might be a good Mardrag. It's a good Mardrag. So we want to basically block once. Get us enough mana to use special attacks. Then we want to use 2, then I think a regular attack. And then we need to use Levant to punch the Poacher. Yeah. Because if Mardrag attacks now, then Poacher dies. And if Arbitron attacks Poacher, Poacher does not die. So we need to, I think it's 3 attacks? I gotta watch this HP bar. I think I need to use Arbitron, possibly because it's the good Mardrag. I think Arbitron can get the kill. I need Poacher to not block Arbitron though. That's the one thing I'm worried about here. Okay, cool. Because it's the good Mardreg, we only need 2 attacks with advantage instead of 3. If it's bad Mardreg, I think you need to do 3 there. Okay, this is going very well now. Oh, need to finish the... Menuing order all out of whack. Pupa key. So we're gonna leave, because it's faster to just leave. And go back in. The Shirley may have respawned. Except, of course, now it'll be an Asher. So we are going to take a route that should hopefully enable us to dodge it. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Nope. Messed that up. It may have a turn on us here. Okay, no. I think I needed to wait a little bit longer before trying to run around if I wanted to dodge it entirely. But that was the only fight we guaranteed had to do. So provided we do this section right now, we'll just get past it. Let go of my running button for a second there. So, which enemies are here is actually optional. Sometimes it'll be 2. Oh god. My aim was a little bit off there. Right, we're gonna run up this way, just to grab a skeleton key. It's a bit of a time loss, but skeleton keys are worth 500 gold. That's gonna guarantee that we don't have problems with money. Again, as said, since we're just trying to get on the leaderboard, we are just going to be doing the safe strats. And if we've completed safe strats and we've got a decent run, then we can go for the riskier stuff live, which I think is more entertaining. I couldn't run there until, well, even after it scored down to bomb. I started running as soon as the game allowed me. There we go. And time for the slowest walking I've ever seen in a video game. There are longer walking scenes in video games, but I've never seen someone walk so slow. That may be partly to do with the fact that on the PAL version he may walk even slower on the PAL, since it seems that the majority of the time we lose due to this. I think it's because they say PAL's 16.7% slower, or something like that. That's what Google says when you go, why is PAL slower than NTSC versions of games? Something like that. NTSC also has a higher refresh rate at 60Hz instead of PAL's 50. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But we lose, it's why this run is so much slower than NTSC anyway. Because if you compare side by side, I know I've messed up in menuing and stuff, and my wrong walks have been slow, but the time disparity otherwise doesn't make a lot of sense. At least not to me. I don't quite see how so much time is lost. Even by the time we go to capture Arbitron, on NTSC you could have him in about 10 minutes, here we got him at 14. And when I've seen other PAL runs, Arbitron's caught at around 14 every time. I've not seen him caught at around 10 on PAL. Maybe due to the BIOS, I don't know. Since we're playing PAL BIOS as well. To make it as close to the original hardware as possible. I mean, I know we're on EMU, but still. Look at that walk. Imagine walking that slow. That is so relaxed. Considering what's going on in his life, I'm amazed he could be so relaxed. I would not be able to just, you know, casually stroll that slowly. I'd have a bit more of a sense of urgency. My village has been turned to stone, my wife is in a cocoon. And this is where I've been sent for the answers and help and whatnot. This is where we get the Solitude Crystal, the only crystal that represents something that isn't an emotion as such. Otherwise it represents like loneliness or something. Ordeal of Solitude. Because the other crystals all represent emotions. I mean, they are all ordeals, but they're all emotions, so they're anger, jealousy, and doubt. They're all things you feel. But you don't feel solitude, you feel loneliness. So, that's another instance of the water crystal just being its own thing. Or the water element in this game being its own thing, and unlike all the other elements. Doesn't have any boss. Isn't an emotion, or explained as an emotion. And I think he says one more thing? Yeah, he says one more thing and then... Now we're done, and now we're going to the shop sequence, which I am very slow at. I absolutely accept that I am slow at menuing. Now we can go to heal without using items if we want to be on the safe side, but let's just sell everything we own. So we've got 2 great walnuts, don't need this anymore. Don't want this, don't want this. We will keep the bitter mugwort because it's very good, and we sell our 2 skeleton keys. So I'm going to buy weapons first, just so I don't forget to do it. We want Little Bird. We've equipped it. We don't want that, we want a Sparrow Ruff. Supplies. We want Mirror of Dever, we need 2 of them. There's your sleep spores we want. We'll take 5 just because we can. And then excellent liquor. We'll take as many as we can get our hands on. For safety, I think we will sacrifice a bit of time to heal via Nagi Maiden. There we go. There should be a Suave in the Dark Beetle Forest that we want to kill with Arbitron. To get Arbitron to level 12. Level 12 Arbitron will be enough to take out Tuturus, hopefully. We do need Tuturus to be nice to us. Yeah, we're just doing all the safe strats, all the safe strats. Just so we can get a run that gets to the end. And I can feel better about the runs that we lost to emulator crashes. And hey, if we're lucky it'll be a little bit faster because hopefully Turgor is nice to us. In case anyone's wondering, that the Turgor was on the second last screen before the final boss sequence, and you couldn't run past it because of where it was. So I had to fight it, and I had to try and run, and it just one-shot us. Oh. I may have used that in the wrong spot. If so, we'll try and run past this Suave and fight the next one. There we go. So this is the guy we want to fight. Arbitron should use 1 water attack, then 2 regulars. It should be... Arbitron should get a double attack. And that'll allow Arbitron to be fully healed by the... At the end of every fight you get 25% of your health back and mana. And obviously 25% of 50 is higher than 10. So Arbitron's now fully healed. If we use a second special attack, then Arbitron wouldn't be at max mana, and that could mean that the Tutorus fight doesn't go quite so well. There we go, Arbitron's now at 52 mana, so that's 5 special attacks. It takes 6 to kill Tutorus, so you are forced to heal. We don't want to wrong warp there because Chorus's hut doesn't exist in this version of the forest, so wrong warping there will not help us. I don't actually know what happens. I don't know if it takes you to the... I'm just assuming that it just doesn't work and it wrong warps you elsewhere. So we want to not get hit by any of these mantises. That's why I'm taking this wide angle, is just to make sure we don't run into any of them. Alright, we go to this screen, now we want to use the sleep spores again. Just going to press circle as soon as we get into this screen. Sleep spore. And we want to hug this wall. That can be a Hackaroo or a Suave that spawns there. This thing's a Hackaroo. So we're gonna see if it's a Manti over here. It is. It's asleep, which may prevent us from running past it though, so we may... It did. But I'll take that still. Oh, Manti got first turn? Okay, I guess it counted as a back attack. We hit it at an awkward angle. I didn't want to wrong warp there in case it kicked us out. It's less safe. And I am all about safety right now. So this guy, we should be able to just go this side of him. We'll use a Mugwort. That's why I didn't want to sell that one Mugwort we had. It's also only worth like 15 gold. Oh, I did sell it. We have to be on full health, so we'll take it. I thought I left the one Mugwort. I should have. Would have been wise to hold on to that. It's worth 15 money. Unless that was the difference between an extra liqueur. You kind of want like 7 liqueurs. Yeah, we shouldn't need any more Mugwort than we have. 2 bitter Mugworts should be sufficient. Okay, so now we need tourists to be very kind to us. So we want to Mirror of Deva Arbitron. This is to protect him from Tutorus' poison. And we want Tutorus to use fire attacks on us. What we don't want is Tutorus to use Mana Drain. Tutorus using Mana Drain will make us a sad boy. We're going to switch here, and Tutorus is going to get a turn, then Arbitron's going to get a double turn. Is what I believe is going to happen. Because Levant is faster than Arbitron right now. Yeah, so there's Tutorus' turn. Poison Tail. Okay, that's a lot of damage, because it's Poison Tail. If he uses 2 of those, we have to heal Arbitron. Because you can see that it 3-shots us. So once if we're... Oh god. Okay. This is me taking a risk, going for this attack. Oh, you serious? Tutorus, do something else! Use fire magic attack, don't use Oh my god. That was risking it all. That was that was very dangerous of me. Oh my god, 4 poison tails in a row. And now Levant is poisoned. If he keeps doing that, by the way, we actually can't have him do that many, because if he does another 3, and we aren't quite so lucky with the rolls, because that one can do 71. We could have lost Arbitron there. We're no longer mirrored. Oh my god. This is the worst Taurus I've had in a long time. This is actually terrible. He's still alive. Oh god, he's still alive. I can't. I have to kill it with Hardrogue. I can't heal the poison. And Levant. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. We may have to... Levant's poisoned, which is why I couldn't... If I tried to heal Mardreg again, then Levant may die. The Taurus, because if he used fire attack, I believe that's enough to lethally injure. Oh, it's so bad. What is that to Taurus? My god. Okay, that's very bad. So we're gonna have to compensate for that somewhere. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Arbitron fight a Turgor. I'm going to weaken it with Mardreg, who's slightly higher level than he should be, in the Dark Spider Forest. That's a Taurus, that's... I'm sure anyone who's ran this game before knows how painful that is. But a Taurus to use Poison Tails 5 times in a row. Had I not risked it all by switching to... yeah, we will heal again. Through Nagi Maiden. If, sorry. This is somewhat defeating the purpose of these liqueurs, but because I need to... Because I'm going to have to do an extra fight to level up Arbitron, I think it's worth doing this. Oh, painful, painful. Obvious room for improvement. But hopefully our safety strats are going to pay off. So... Sorry, yeah, so... Since Arbitron isn't high enough level, we'll get him to kill a Turgor to get him to level 16. That's so Arbitron can finish off the Earth boss. At level 12, I'm pretty sure the Earth boss wins the fight between Arbitron and Earth boss. We don't actually need Levant healed there. I did that. I could have used liqueurs since I have 6 of them, and that would save time. But I'm probably going to have to heal an extra time to guarantee between the fight with the Turgor and the fight with the I maybe mistimed the sleep swords. I need to remember to do that instantly in future runs. Because I may not be able to dodge these guys now. Here a sec. Oh, wrong button. If Levant gets killed at this stage, in this place, it's not the worst thing. Do we serve the space? We do. Okay, my minor mishap with my timings there hasn't hurt us too badly. Is it possible to dodge the Redugal? I don't think it is. So I'm just going to run at it so that it's not Redugal, it's just a Dougal. Redugal would be the... Redugal? I want to say that's water. Yeah. It's fine if, yeah. That's why we have the little bird and the sparrow's ruff, is to give us a second attempt at dodging. Yeah, it's fine if Levant dies, we lose time, obviously, like a lot of time. But there shouldn't be any fight left in the game where Levant is actually at risk of being attacked. Aside from maybe Kashidra, who has the highest speed in the game, and we would use Bitter Mugwort to heal at the start of that fight, that's why we aren't using that. But because we have Little Bird and Sparrow's Ruff, Little Bird and Sparrow's Ruff, that shouldn't be how it goes down. So this hopefully is 1 Zulmu instead of 2. It's 2. I still find the Earth element name of these, the Magoos, is hilarious to me. Okay, nice, got the escape. One thing that is going to slightly bother me is I use the element of the Turgor in the next forest normally to tell me whether or not we're going to get the right fight behind it, because we need to fight fire spirals. But if we're going to fight the Turgor, then we won't have that benefit. I think that was it, but I am going to back out anyway. It was it, yeah. This one always gives me a little bit of grief. This one. I'm just backing out a little bit more to give myself a bit more time to react. If I turn around straight away, then it's such little space to work with that my hands don't catch up with my fingers. I think that's too far out. It was. Every time we mess this one up, we have to fight another Hirosag. That is too far out, I think. Oh, it wasn't. Better to be wrong by being too cautious than wrong because you weren't cautious enough. Our approach angle was a bit weird, I didn't know if it was right. Oh, sorry, my emulator froze for a second there and I was very worried. Jesus Christ. Way to give me a heart attack game. Okay, so note to self, Turgor is yellow right now. That's a Babenza. I probably should have waited. No, I didn't want to wait till it to be Earth. Because if I wait for it to be Earth, then it's very strong against Arbitron. So we've saved special occurs. Mardrag sadly has terrible magic defense. It's actually awful. But Babenzas don't have the best defensive stats. So I think we're fine to switch to Arbitron now. I think Babenza might have enough mana to get one more of those out. But Arbitron is strong enough to kill. So yeah, so now we're going to heal our Mardrag.
Right, so just remember that that was already yellow. Which is the colour that we want. Okay, spiral. This is the fight we want. I probably should have come at it from behind, because then that would give us an extra turn, maybe. So we want to kill both of these things with our Mardreg. Because our Patron is one level higher than intended, we are going to have to account for that. That's going to mean we're going to do a different amount of damage to this spiral. So we may have to take this fight a little bit slower. Because normally you want to do like two water attacks, and switch to Mardreg. But we have plenty of special liquors, so I think the wiser thing to do... Oh, actually, you know what, I think we can still get 2 special attacks. Nice, okay, that's fine. Let me switch back to Mardreg. Spiral's going to get an extra turn on us, that's fine. I don't have a lot of time to work with in real life, this being. So we're only going to be able to finish this one run. Probably. Yeah, I believe we can run straight past that one. So last 2 screens. Last time there was a Turgor here, which just ended our entire career. So we have to dodge. We can't dodge this spiral. We have to run away from it. Turgors do like 70 damage to us with their magic attack. The spiral should hit us here. And hopefully we can only pray. No, we're dead. Okay, we're having a bad day of it. I can't believe we got away with that. Okay, I'm going to heal now. In case we can't escape from the next fight. Levant shouldn't be hurt. Shouldn't be hurt by Delphinel. And hopefully won't be hurt by Kashidra, but we also have to escape this fight as well. We can't dodge this. Please let us escape, please. Okay. The nerves are very much so settling in. Okay, it's good that we healed. But if Kashidra gets a turn on us... If Kashidra gets a turn on us here, we die. We will fight the Earth boss first. So we fight the Earth boss first. And we won't have to fight him again, should we successfully beat him, if we do die to Kashidra immediately, but we will have to wrong all over the place again, which will not be fun. I do not enjoy doing the Dragonfly and the Spider Forest wrong wall one after the other. I find it tricky to get both at once. And it's the last wrong walk you have to do, but I find it a bit... It's a bit terrifying to do. Because you can lose so much time by just not getting both of them one after the other. So we need to Deva's Mirror Mardreg. That is the one action we need Levant to take. Okay, double turn. We don't have Bitter Mugwort for Levant, otherwise I may be in a position where I may have want to have used it there, because I think we'd get a turn on Delphinel. So it's going to take a fair few special attacks to kill Delphinel. If he does his stomp attack, we're just going to block. We just have to tell ourselves to block. It's tempting to get an extra attack in, because you might get a double turn. That's probably the attack we want to see. Well, neither of them do too much to Mardreg, to be fair. So it's kind of hard to tell, and we should get a double attack at some point. So we're going to block here. If we get 2 turns, we'll just get enough mana back to use our... Yeah, there you go, we get a double. The double turn is there, but should we not get it, this stomp will be the end of us. So it is better to just block. We get a bit of mana back, so we get an extra 2 special attacks as a consequence of our blocking. Okay, Delphinel's in a mood to stomp. See, like there, if I didn't block, that would spell disaster for us. We do need Mardreg to live this, so I would like a crit. Okay, Delphinel dead. He's gonna hit us. He's got very powerful arms, the Earth Boss. We'll get one of those in, I think. And that shouldn't kill us still. There we go. There's a bit of a risk there, I suppose. If he crit, we might be screwed. And we are going to, once we get this kill, we are going to slowly menu. Slowly menu is the name of the game here, because I do not want to miss the recovery spot. You can heal on the NTSC Impal versions between the Earth Boss and the Kashidra fight. In the Japanese version of the game, you can't, and you have to do both fights one after the other, which means the setup is quite a bit longer. Okay, good. Excellent look here. Okay. Final fight. We can't heal our minions, because Levant will die to Kashidra. I also think Levant might die to Chosen One, if we try to switch him in, if Kashidra is dead. So, the way this fight's gonna go is we're going to switch out of Levant as quickly as possible so Kashidra doesn't end our lives. And Kashidra's going to start in the Earth element. We want Kashidra to stay in the Earth element for as long as possible. And then we want Kashidra to stay in the Fire element as long as possible, but we want Kashidra to die either in the Water or Air elements. And this is because the Area status effect boosts the current element that Kashidra is. So if Kashidra dies while Water or Air, then Arpatron or Mardreg, respectively, special attacks will be boosted, which will enable them to kill the Chosen One faster. Which is what we want to happen. So I think we're looking at a time of 120 or so right now, which, given all our mistakes, given that how bad our Tuturus fight is, that's pretty good. If we die here, we're probably looking at 130, 140. It'll take us quite a lot of time to catch up on that time loss. just want to get one run done, which was relatively clean. I would say this has been relatively clean so far. I can't relax though, because Kashidra can still end our life. Kashidra has very high, very high speed, which makes them if they just hit us, we die. Like right now, because Chosen One goes first, switches to Kashidra. We just die if Levant gets hit here. So I can't really relax right now. Once I'm into a minion, I can feel a bit safer. This is the Earth Element Arena effect. We switch to Mardrag. Kashidra probably gets a turn first here. We don't need an extra Deva's Mirror because Kashidra does not have any status condition attacks. Okay, that's alright. We don't mind that. Straight to air, that's... Okay, we might have a slow Kashidra. But you see, we still do a fair bit of damage to Kashidra, because now we're going to take more damage as well. But sorry, yeah, so we get boosted damage on our special attacks, so we still do a fair bit to Kashidra there. Now that Kashidra is fire, we need to switch to Arbitron. Kashidra can heal themselves in the water element, which we don't want. For obvious reasons. But we want Kashidra to stay in Earth because Mardrag has higher attack power than Arbitron. So Kashidra staying in the Earth element for longer is very helpful. It also makes it more likely that we finish Kashidra off in the water element. We haven't had any blocks from Kashidra yet. No Kashidra blocks. And we finish in the water element, so Arbitron's going to have a good shot at killing the Chosen One here. And time stops as soon as we deliver the final blow to the Chosen One. Which should be 2 attacks because of our element. That's a heavy hit. Time 1:16:51. You know what? I'm really pleased with that. When looking at oh, sorry, there's so much tension relieved right now. I can't imagine how world record feels. But when I was looking at the NTSC runs for this game, world record is 50 minutes. I can't remember the seconds. I want to say it's like 30 something. Sorry, I'm still recovering from the fact that I actually managed to do it. I was trying to account for what that would roughly look like in PAL. Now this is obviously not what that looks like in PAL, because we messed up a number of times and had to do some extra stuff, but we're only, we're less than 30 minutes longer, and considering the PAL delay gave us 4 minutes before even Arbitron, I think that was actually probably a pretty solid run. You guys getting to watch the ending sequence here? I'm still mashing X by just force of habit. Yeah, so we've successfully completed a run. The problems that I had have seemed to be resolved by switching out my controller. It does seem to have been that was the cause. But we will continue to do live runs tomorrow, Thursday, the 15th. And hopefully we'll be able to improve on this time. So we now have a PB to beat. 1 hour 16:51 is the time to beat. Yeah, I don't think I needed... No, I did need to Yeah, it's good that we did heal the Nagi Maiden actually, because we would have died. So the safety strats paid off. Because we'd be using the Nagi Maiden to heal, I suppose we didn't need as many special lickers. But if we were risking it all, then we wouldn't have, in terms of going as quickly as possible, then we wouldn't have done that. So we did a lot of safety-based actions.
When the 4 divine barriers are dispelled,
but
the power of light and
I'm very happy with how that came out.
The time of gathering.
For a first run for the leaderboard,
the guardian
and to give us
deities
something to
of
beat
light
in
and
future.
darkness shall be released by the twin dragons of EMU. The chosen ones of light and darkness shall meet, and only then will the accursed ones be granted repose. And man shall obtain yet another fruit of knowledge, but it shall bear the seeds of responsibility.
That fruit of knowledge is stress, let's be real. that's what I felt throughout all of the latter half of that run. The first half, I'm alright. Dark Dragonfly, Dark Spider, stressful. Stresses me out. I'm kind of curious what the game clock says, because I don't know if the game clock is accurate on PAL. So we are going to get to the end, and we're gonna save the game just to see if it matches, if it lines up. Yeah, so obvious improvements. We failed to dodge the Pataimaus at the start of the game. We had to fight a Turgor because Tutoris was an absolute bugger. He was not interested in being nice to us at all. I should have sleep spored it earlier. We sort of got away with it because I reacted fast enough to it. We could have dodged the Asher in the Moth Forest, stopped that fight. Better escape luck. That kind of stuffed us, and more practice at the wrong warps so that we get them a bit sooner, because we did lose. We didn't lose that much time, but we lost a couple minutes, I would say, to that. I can sort of do everything a little bit better, is what I feel. Everything was done correctly, or at least as correctly as I think I could have done it, while playing safely. But it was just a little bit loose in terms of inputs. It wasn't that fast, so we probably lost a few, or more than a few minutes, over the course of the entire run due to that. Yeah, the game clock, I believe, does count this time passing, so I think it's a little bit lower than what it says. But yeah, we'll save this, just so we can see what it says as our time. You also see this is a clean installation. I don't have any saves. Yeah, 106. So that would be what I would guess equivalent to the NTSC time. You see, like 10 minutes. That sounds about right. Yeah, I think because yeah, I think I could have saved like 16 minutes would be hard. We would have saved like 2 minutes off capturing the Mardrag. I think this ending sequence is counted, which is another couple of minutes. So there's definitely room for improvement, as you can see. But for our very first any percent run that's made it to the end. Given that all the others, to be fair, all the others only died to technical difficulties. They didn't die because the run died as such. It died because the emulator crashed. I'm very pleased with that. So, thank you guys for watching if you've watched all the way to the end. And I will be streaming more of these runs tomorrow, the 15th, and I hope to see you there. And yeah, I'm just very pleased with how that's come out. I will see you guys then, hopefully.